What's up, social media fam? Um, just checking in, I guess. It's been 3 months. 3 very long, but also productive months. So I'm just here to tell you kind of what happened, where I've been, and what's next. I have notes. Obviously, you can't see those, but we're trying to make this like as concise and to the point as possible because no one wants to hear me rant for 40 minutes about what I've been doing for the last 3 months. So, what happened, which is like why I left. I was getting very burned out with everything, life, social media interactions, Smash. It was just getting very hard to be around people generally. Even interacting with people on just tweets or Facebook comments. A lot of just like messenger interactions were like wearing me down. There's just a lot of stress and strain. Even playing Smash, competing was hard because of like where my hand health was, where my mental health was, even outside of bracket, let alone trying to focus inside bracket at tournaments. Just my health was getting a lot worse. I gained a lot of weight. I had like terrible sleeping habits, hadn't worked out in forever. My mental health was at an all-time low. Very suicidal, depressed, angry, disgruntled. I don't know, there's just a lot of just terrible health going on just around all of me. Within like the community, I felt kind of underappreciated. There's a lot of times where I felt kind of used, and it's kind of hard for me to kind of bring up and talk about openly. And I know there's a lot of people who did actually like genuinely appreciate what I did do, but it was kind of far and few between, and I don't know, that's a rough feeling, and it's something, you know, I kind of had to work with. I feel like no one actually knew me. They knew Humble Dojo, and that maybe doesn't make sense at first, like, listen, because you're like, hey, you are Humble Dojo, what do you mean? But like, not very many people knew David Lee. They just knew the icon or the kind of social hype man that was Humble Dojo. They didn't really like learn who the authentic David Lee was, and that was really hard to come to grips with. It created kind of an emotional disconnect, and it really made me feel like more of a object or a commodity, a service that was being provided to people, more so than like a person who had needs and wants and things like that. So that was complicated. And Mike Ross actually was a big hero of mine during this time, as he stepped away from esports for like a number of reasons. A lot of them kind of interlap with my reasons, and it kind of helped me understand that what I was doing was kind of the right step. But, you know, not going to turn this into a Mike Ross video. But I don't know. And even with the whole like nobody really knowing me and just knowing Humble Dojo, that fed into like an attention addiction I kind of developed. Whereas like I'd feed into the personality, the social personality that was Humble Dojo, and like, you know, feeding for likes or power or these other just kind of dumb things, and that really ended up backfiring on my mentality and my just like my mental health in general. So I don't know, there's just like a lot of things I had noticed, and I just, when I saw myself, I didn't like what I saw. I couldn't look in the mirror. I couldn't really even like reflect positively on a lot of the things I had done or like the places I had gone, because of there's always like that after image in the background of, well, why did you do these things, or were you actually being genuine, or like when's the last time you were actually yourself around people? And I don't know, it's just, it hits hard. So that kind of covers, you know, these are just bullet points. I'm trying to go through this pretty quickly, but that's kind of like what happened and what like led up to me leaving. So I ended up leaving, stepped away from like all social media, kind of abandoned my Twitter, deactivated my Facebook, walked away from the Smash community, walked away from like a lot of IRL friends, stopped taking phone calls, text messages. There are some people who checked up on me, like shouts to you guys. You guys are real ones. I super appreciate that. But I just wasn't in a place where I could have social interactions. I had to kind of step back and start from square one. Kind of understand who was real, who was actually like wanted the best for me. I had to have a better understanding of myself. I had to like readjust with my mental health, readjust with my physical health, because I had let myself go way too far. And amazingly enough, stepping away from everything, like stopping playing Smash, like no longer checking Twitter every 5 minutes, not being on Facebook, whether it be like just making random posts or scrolling the timeline or responding to every comment. I actually had a lot of free time on my hands. I started working out regularly, like pretty much every day, doing like push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, you know, the works, jogging. I was doing like 5 miles every time I went out. So that was amazing for my mental health. Just being disconnected from everything did wonders. I didn't want to like beat up random, like randos online or anons. I was able to just have a healthy outlet to get a lot of the stress out. It helped with my physical health, of course, which helped with my self-esteem and some other things. I actually had so much free time not doing all those things that I now work 3 jobs, which is kind of crazy. I a lot of times work around the clock when I feel like it, but work 3 jobs, working out like consistently. I've had a lot of time to actually sit down and address a lot of my mental health issues. And you guys know I've been pretty outspoken about getting help and like working through things and being vocal, and I don't know, mental health is really important to me, still is, and I just feel like I've had a lot of time to be able to work through and to better understand and even address a lot of like buried issues. So this time's been excellent for me, just to be unplugged and to take care of all of that. To get a better understanding of my Christianity. Religion isn't something I really talk about on here much anymore, even though it was like a really big part of who I am, and I had gotten away from that. And it's not really, I don't know, it's a touchy subject, and it's not something I really want to get into that much, but since it's a video about me and where I've been and like where I'm going next, I'm definitely kind of digging back in and re-exploring what I want to be as a Christian, because there's not a lot of good, I feel, modern examples right now. And I still believe that God's been looking out for me, and that the only reason I'm still alive is like largely Him, and there's a lot of intentional things that have happened. So I'm just trying to get a better understanding of where I stand with all of that. But I don't know, that's been pretty big for me. So I just kind of took a lot of time away for self-improvement and just getting the help I need. What's next? I guess I'll start off by saying one thing I learned is that, I don't know, I felt very like dead inside for a long time. And I think it's largely because I've stepped away from one of my biggest passions, which is like creating. And I don't know, for me, creating is really life, and I only really truly feel alive when I am creating, whether it be like art, writing, photography. I used to do a lot of acting when I was in church, and that was like one of my favorite things ever, and I stopped doing that. I did a lot of photography when I went on hikes and stuff. I stopped doing that. Even within the Smash community, I felt like it was a creative outlet for me when I first got started with community building, with like learning how to run tournaments and trying to invent new brackets, invent new ideas, trying to find new ways to grow the community, to connect people. Like all of that was still like a creative outlet for me. Even in-game playing and finding new texts and new combos and new ways to string together hits and find new openings, and it was all like a very creative way to express myself, and I was able to fill that kind of creative niche for me for a while, and it helped me feel alive, and it was very fulfilling to be in the Smash community and do those things. But that's not really an outlet I have anymore, so I'm going to be going back to some of my roots. I have a lot of projects planned. since I want to like get back more involved with dancing. I want to like do some songwriting. I want to perform some spoken word, and there's definitely want to get back on photography. So there's a lot of stuff I want to do. There's one thing is I'm not coming back to social media. I should probably get that out there now. Social media is definitely like a trap. It's toxic. And I mean, some people, they know how to play the game, and they're fine with being there, and they kind of thrive in the environment. But I don't know, it's too much negativity for me. Too much attention whoring, too much temptation, too much time waste. It's a sinkhole for me. And I don't plan on spending my time or my energy there any longer. There's a lot of like false connections that are built there. There's a lot of emotional disconnect that happens behind the like anonymity of the interactions. There's a lot of people who aren't held accountable for things they say or do. I don't know, it's just not something I really desire to be a part of any longer. I'm not gonna get into that a little bit more in a sec, but I'm not going back to social media. So there's not gonna be that many ways to keep track of me or any of the projects I'm doing. This is not a self-promoting video. I'm not here to say like, hey, follow my SoundCloud if you wanna. No, for those who are interested in like what I plan to do in the future, I might, share some ways to follow and keep tabs on what I'm doing. But for the most part, I'm gonna be stepping away from social media. If you're watching this on Twitter, my Twitter is pretty much like smash only, so I don't really share like any of my life stuff on there. So I'm probably gonna delete that unless there's people who like are Twitter exclusive followers who want to like keep tabs with me, like whether it be through Messenger or whatever. Facebook, I'm just gonna deactivate it. I'm not gonna delete it because I still need Messenger. There's a lot of important memories and stuff on there, and I still want to have an emergency line in case somebody really needs me. So I'll keep that around. If you do have my number, because I know my number's floating around out there, you guys can feel free to hit me up. I low-key hate phone calls, so I may not pick up. But you can text me. Don't feel obligated or entitled to a response, because depending on where I'm at or what I'm doing, I might not. But I do appreciate those who do check in on me. I'm actually going to be coming to see a lot more people soon. Like Victor, I'm going to come see you. Nate, Uncle Nate, I'm going to come see you. KP, I freaking love KP. I'm going to come see you. Tom, Janae, I need to come see you guys real soon. Ricky, my Mexican brother Ricky. Jeff, I don't know how I'm going to see you. I may have to just call you, but I really want to see you, Jeff. Quan and Jared, definitely want to come see you guys soon. John, my boy Gazer. Even Ben, Scott Pilgrim, I'm going to come to see you too. There's definitely some people I need to catch back up with and kind of touch bases with, but I'll do that later. But I don't know. I guess just what's next for me is just focusing on creating more, taking care of myself, health-wise, mental health, continue to grow there, continue to work out. I've lost a lot of weight, and I'm wearing a sweater, got to cover it up. It's not ready to be revealed yet, but I've definitely, I'm kind of a different person already, and I feel like the next time most of you guys will probably see me, may not even be recognizable, and that's kind of the goal. That'd be cool. So just gotta stay on the grind. Still gonna be working a lot. I don't have a lot of time to hang out anymore, and I'm not that bummed about that. I'm very excited to be making forward progress and momentum, so I'm gonna try to keep that going. So yeah, I'll probably gonna post this video up, and I'll probably be on like my social medias for the remainder of the week. Today marks 3 months exactly since I disappeared, and I feel like the time's been invaluable. It's been very hard. Life has been extremely hard. It has not gotten easier. I'm actually alone now. It didn't start that way, but I'm definitely by myself, and I feel like I've learned a lot being by myself. And it hasn't been easy, and my biggest focus has been not so much changing my life, but more so changing how I interact with what life throws at me, and just being able to roll with the punches and being able to better problem solve and better address different issues that come up on the day to day. And I feel like I've been pretty successful. A lot of things that normally would have crumpled me before, I'm able to, crawl through now. Still not running, still taking hits, but the biggest thing is I'm still pushing, and I'm hoping you guys are doing all right also. So yeah, I'll be around for the rest of the week. Feel free to hit me up on one of these freaking platforms. I don't know. But yeah, 15-minute video, 16 minutes. This has gone on long enough. If you have any questions, hit me up. Comment on whatever. This is going to be on YouTube. Comment on my Facebook, where to post it, Twitter, whatever. Message me. If you want to talk about anything, suicide, religion, depression, anything, definitely take advantage of this week. I mean, I'll still be around after that, through Messenger, but like I'll be kind of on my own thing by that point. So definitely take advantage of this time I'm kind of giving you guys. But yeah, that's where I've been, and I hope y'all have been all right.